Hey, what's good, everyone? It's South Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you have recovered from last night. Of course, was a disappointing result for Manchester United last night. Of course, losing by 4 goals to 3 to Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in Tottenham. Of course, guys. So very disappointed with the result. But you know what? It's not all doom and gloom. At the end of the day, there was a number of positives that we can take from that game. Not least the fact that we saw that some of those players are just not up for the task. They're not quite at that level. I think they failed their audition, didn't they? They failed their test. And to be honest with you guys, you know what? I think we've seen the last of a few players in that side. Another positive I would take from the game, of course, guys, is the fact that, we would have been playing a two-legged tie against Liverpool in the next round. And I don't think we're quite ready for a two-legged tie against Liverpool. This is exactly what I was pointing at, of course. Ruben Amorim's was speaking about things like that, of course, guys, in regards to United playing in this competition. Is it really important? Is it really, essential that Man United win the League Cup? Of course, we won the League Cup under Eric Ten Hag, of course, which, you know what, it's a nice day out. It's a nice day out. But is it really important in regards to that? It's always great to win football matches, and I know that. But did we really want to play a two-legged tie in January, I believe it was? We've already got Arsenal away in the FA Cup. We've already got Liverpool away in the league. So at the end of the day, did we really want to do that? In my opinion, I think it's better that Man United leave this competition gracefully and say, do you know what? We concentrate on the FA Cup. Look, the Europa League's the most important thing, isn't it? At the end of the day, we want the Europa League. That is what's most important at the end of the day. And we hope that, we can go out there and win that. I don't think there's anything to be scared about Tottenham. I felt we outplayed Tottenham, 54% possession, of course. And I felt like if we play Tottenham with our first team in the Europa League, I think we can knock Tottenham out. I really do. I think we could beat Tottenham Hotspur, and I think that we have to be a little bit more positive, more zealous in regards to everything, and not be too down. Now, let's get to some of your comments, by the way, guys. Let's get to some of your comments. Absolutely. Big up, Kenny. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I'm more upset by the way we defended, and my goodness me, Dan is done out here. Amorim got the goalkeeper selection wrong. At the end of the day, you got to play your goalkeeper, Kenny, isn't it? At the end of the day, he can either play him or not play him. At the end of the day, we need a goalkeeper to be fit. This goalkeeper should be ready. Loads of people were screaming out for Bayern to start. Let's not get it twisted. Loads of people were screaming out, Bayern should start, Bayern start. Bayern started and he failed his audition. And unfortunately, Ruben Amorim has not seen Bayern play football for Man United. So he's going to have to, play him sometimes, The second choice goalkeeper, as we saw Romero under Jose Mourinho, if it's a competent second choice goalkeeper, then you know what, you're okay. But he failed his audition. I think Man United need to be looking for a new goalkeeper in the summer. I really do, especially one that can come in. Going forward, because if Onana is injured, who are we going to bring in? Is Bayern going to be reliable? Look, at the same time, we can also talk about the fact that we shouldn't have the penalty. The fourth goal from Tottenham Hotspur was a foul, wasn't it? At the end of the day, it was a foul. And the first goal, maybe the defence could have reacted better, but obviously Bayern needed to push the ball to the other side of the pitch rather than pushing it straight into the danger area, which was obviously the problem, guys. Of course, guys. Good morning, Ichioma. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Good to see you. How was your night rest? Slept about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, Ichioma. After the football game, obviously slept after about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then from there, you know what? I'm here this morning, of course, guys, having a latte and taking it easy, to be honest, and enjoying the elements and stuff like that, of course, guys, because at the end of the day, look, you know what? I'm not going to be too downhearted on the result. Of course, we weren't entirely happy with the result, were we? I agree with you totally. Look, at the end of the day, German, look, some people are going to moan and cry about the result. At the end of the day, one thing we have to do is take the positives out of the game. We have to take it and say, look, you know what? Do we really want the League Cup? Do we want a two-legged tie in January, sandwiched in between the Europa League and the league? We know what's most important for us now, don't we? We know that we won the League Cup under Eric Ten Hag. I mean, it's great, it's nice, but is it really the league? Look, Ruben Amorim said last night, that we want to win the Premier League. I'm going to bring this quote in for you guys real quickly, if you don't mind. Let me bring this quote in for you because I want you guys to see it. Let's have a look. Here we go. Okay, so basically, this is the quote from Ruben Amorim last night. They said, Ruben Amorim said, we cannot think in that way that winning silverware makes everything okay. It will be a long way. We are improving. Our goal is to win the Premier League. How long it will take, I don't know. That was his comments on Sky, guys. So what do you make of that? So basically confirming what I said last night, that, you know what, it's disappointing that we lost the game. Of course it's disappointing. We never want to lose football games. But at the same time, we need to look at it from a more diplomatic, from a more, positive light, saying that, do we really want this competition? Mate, this competition was a trial for me, like an audition for some players, and he treated it as an audition. Look, we cannot think of the League Cup as anything other than England's third trophy, of course. But one thing we have to understand is that if we were like in our a lot more advanced in our development in regards to our team and our selection and our squad, then maybe the League Cup is a little more important, because you know what, we're doing well in every competition. But I just don't think Man United should be, too concerned about it. The problem last night was the mistakes. Those mistakes were glaringly obvious. But we look at the team, when we look at Licha Martinez, who made a mistake, Bruno made a mistake in regards to the goal, the players that are playing every game. So those players are not the reserve players. They're the first players. They're the first team players. So they're the players that were making a mistake. So at the end of the day, what I would say is that, you know what, we can look at things from all different angles. One thing I would say is that Eriksen wasn't good enough. I think he was too slow. He's pedestrian. He's lethargic. I think Man United need to do better than Eriksen. Looks like he'll be leaving the football club in the summer, as does Lindelof. Lindelof got injured again, for crying out loud. How many of these players need to get injured for Man United before we say, what's going on here? What's going on? At the end of the day, what we have to say is that players had an audition. They failed the audition. And at the end of the day, they have to move on at the end in the summer, and that is just the way life is with football. And we're going to replace those players with competent, fit, younger players, of course, guys, which will help Ruben Amorim. People forget that this is not Ruben Amorim's team. This is something completely different. This is Erik ten Hag, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Louis van Gaal's team. This is not his team, of course, guys. Let's go through some of your comments, guys, real quickly. I appreciate your work you're doing. May God grant you the strength. And thank you so much, Ijoma. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate that. I'm putting in the work for. I mean, my football club, of course, it's our football club, and we talk about it. And you know what? Tired. I went to sleep at 3:00 in the morning, but you know what? We're still here. We have to put in the grind, guys. And you know what? Nothing better than waking up in the morning to a coffee and Manchester United is there, and Stretford Post. It's at the end of the day. So thank you so much, my friend Ijoma, of course. Ichichi, good morning. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Really good to see you, of course. Good to see you. Ijoma, I believe Manchester United is going to win the league next season, 2028. I think, you know what, Ijoma, I actually think it's going to be before that. I think Man United will win the league 2025-26 season. I think Man United are going to win the league. Guys, you can clip me on this. You can quote me on this. I believe that Man United will win the league in 2025-26 season. I think we'll have a better league than people expect this season. I think Man United will move up the league. I think they will. I think they will get into that top 5 position. Obviously, they've got the Europa League, of course, going on there. So I think Man United can win the Europa League. I think they, I looked at Tottenham, and Tottenham are our biggest threat in the Europa League. And I don't think that we should be scared of Tottenham. If we put our 100% team out there and we play to 100% of our abilities, we will defeat Tottenham over 2 legs. We will defeat Tottenham. I firmly believe that, guys. I really do. But one thing we have to say, we have to take, obviously, the rough with the smooth. And I would say is that there's mistakes in our game that we need to improve. There's a number of schoolboy errors. I mean, I don't know what Martinez was doing. I think it was for the 4th goal, wasn't it? Or the 3rd goal. I don't know what he was doing. He was kicking the ball out of the side of his foot when he should have just cleared it with the other foot and just cleared it out of touch. I don't know why he was doing that. And those are the kind of little mistakes, of course, guys, that, you know what, we got to eradicate from our game. We really do got to get rid of those sort of mistakes from our game, of course, guys. Absolutely. Let me just read some of your comments. Let's have a look. Let's read some. Ichichi, Man United should know that we lack a world-class goalie. Absolutely, we do. We need to sign one more goalkeeper, I think. I mean, whatever you think of Onana, is he good enough going forward? Can he take Man United to the level that Man United should be, do you think, in your opinion? I don't know. I mean, he does divide opinion, of course. He does divide opinion. Mark, How you doing, mate? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you, Mark. Good to see you. Rasta, Europa League is more important. As much as I wanted to beat Spurs, we need to repeat. Absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, Rasta, you know what? No one wanted to lose the game yesterday, me included. We didn't want to lose the game. But one thing we have to say is that, if you're going to lose one trophy this season, let it be the League Cup. That's all I'm saying. Let it be the League Cup. And obviously, we move on in regards to other trophies because the Europa League should be, all our eggs should be in that Europa League basket. I really do believe that we should have the Europa League forefront of our mind, the league, moving up the league, of course. And then, of course, guys, hopefully, um, we win it. We win the Europa League because I firmly believe that the Europa League is there to win. I really do. I really do think it's there to win. I think it's in our hands. I don't think we should scare Tottenham. There are other teams in it. I'm not going to totally discount other teams, guys, in regards to that. I'm definitely not going to discount other teams in regards to the Europa League, but I think Man United have got this. I really do. I think Man United could win this Europa League, and I think it is ours to lose. I really do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me just get this up real quickly, guys. Let me get this up, if I may. Hopefully you can all hear me properly, guys. Hopefully you're all good, and you're hearing me loud and clear, of course. Let me just put this up. Absolutely. Yeah, let's just put this up real quickly. Okay, let's just do this. Let me just put this up, of course. Yeah, so let's read some of your comments. Ichichi, it shows if Onana is injured the long term, we have no good goalie to back up. And that's the thing. I mean, we're talking about Onana here. We're talking about Onana like he's Peter Schmeichel. At the end of the day, we need we need a couple of goalkeepers in there. We really do. At the end of the day, but Bayende didn't take his chance yesterday. Unfortunately, many of us were saying that Bayende should play. Many of us were saying, you know what, we need to give him a chance. I mean, he's had his chance, and unfortunately, he's fell on the wayside. To be honest, and he hasn't performed as we thought he would perform. It's sad, really, because he hasn't had much opportunities in the first team. But when you get into that first team, you really do have to take your opportunity. Of course, guys, you really do have to take your opportunity. All right, let's have a look at this. Let's get this in. Sanjay, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Sanjay. Good to see you, Rasta. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. At least we don't have to play the playoffs like them in the Europa League. Look, at the end of the day, that's it. Exactly. We play in the players like them in Europe. Absolutely, mate. At the end of the day, look, it's not over in the Europa League, of course. We need to win our 2 games in hand. Of course, we've got those 2 games. We've got Glasgow Rangers, which is a tough game, of course, guys. We need to think about that game. And if we win those 2 games, we qualify in the top 8. We can possibly finish top of that group. Can you believe it? Can you believe we could possibly finish top of that group and we can end up going through as group winners, guys? Can you imagine that? Incredible, isn't it? When you think about it, at the end of the day. But you know what? If we go through some more of, let me just put this up. Let's read let's read basically some of Ruben Amram's comments from last night's game, if we may. Let me just. All right, let's read some of Ruben Amram's comment. Look, I'm going to read it. Sorry about my finger in the way, guys. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So, basically, let me just read some of the comments from last night's game. So, basically, let me have a look. Let's set this up. Okay. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, so at the end of the day, what I would say is that, sorry guys about my surroundings and stuff like that. I know it's a bit difficult today. It is a little bit difficult today in regards to me rushing around today, busy as usual. Of course, guys, this is how it does. This is how it goes for me sometimes. This is how it goes, of course. It does go like that sometimes, guys. It really does, to be honest. Let me just change the layout. Okay, so if we get this, There we go. So if we get this up. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Let me just get this up for you guys real quickly. I want to read some of the quotes from Ruben Amorim real quickly, if you don't mind, from last night's game, of course. Let me just get this off the screen. Let me just get this off the screen. There we go. He said, we lose a lot of balls near our box, and it was tough to recover. Then the guys were incredible. Yeah, look, you know what? We're making too many schoolboy errors, in my opinion. Too many errors that we should eradicate from our game. Too many problems at Man United at the moment in regards to making schoolboy errors. We conceded about 3 goals yesterday through errors, and we shouldn't be doing that at the end of the day. We shouldn't be making these kind of errors. It is a little bit, problematic in regards to the errors that we keep making, which lead to goals, of course. We need to stop that, of course, these things in our game. We need to stop this in our game, of course, guys. Absolutely. I didn't. Basically, when he's speaking about obviously Bayinde, he's speaking about Bayinde yesterday. He said, "I did not look. I already said in Portugal, never speak about referees, and I will not start now. I will try." In regards to the foul, I mean, it was a foul. I mean, there was no VAR. I mean, really, it was a foul, wasn't it? His arm was pulled back, but I still think, in my opinion, the ball probably would have hit the back of the net anyway. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know what you guys think about that, but at the end of the day, I still believe that the ball would have ended up in the back of the net. It's just the way the ball was moving and stuff. We will win together, we will lose together. It's not any individual, it's a team. Absolutely. And this is the whole thing about it, guys. Look, we're not going to single out anyone, but we will critique when we need to critique any players that are not playing well. We will critique them. We will obviously say that they need to do this better, they need to do that better at the end of the day. But one thing's for certain is that we will lose as a team. We do lose as a team. It's teams that win titles. It's teams that win Champions Leagues. It's not any individual at the end of the day, as influential as any individual is, of course. We lose a lot of, yeah, I think I read that one. Absolutely. There we go. We can see the team is doing better things better, understanding the game better physically. They are better. The staff and the fans, they feel it. I mean, we are getting better, guys. And you know what? It would take a very, very bitter person not to see that we are getting better. And we are seeing a lot of improvements at Man United at the moment. I mean, I'm seeing it. I'm definitely seeing it. I don't know about you guys. I'm seeing patterns of play. I'm seeing hope. I'm seeing, it's a style of football that, you know what? We didn't give up, and the thing is, when it was 3-0, a lot of people would have thought that was game over. It was our own selves. We did it to ourselves. It was our own responsibility that we lost that game. It wasn't because of Tottenham, it's because of us. We lost that game because of us, not because of Tottenham, because we gave them the ball and we should have been much more composed, of course, guys, absolutely, in regards to that, of course. But that was some comments from obviously Ruben Amorim. What do you think about Ruben Amorim then in that game? I mean, obviously, I'm going to go through the player ratings, guys, if you don't mind. This was the player ratings for me yesterday. If you look at the team, I mean, Bayinde, of course. This is to do with my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook. This were the player ratings for the game. I think Bayinde got a 3.9 in my opinion. Don't think he did great yesterday. Audition fouled, in my opinion. Unfortunately, audition fouled. But you know what? It is what it is. Hopefully, I wish him all the best. Licha Martinez didn't do great. Didn't put a foot wrong, to be honest. But you know what? It wasn't brilliant. But, a 5.4 for me. A very average 5.4. I felt Lenny Yoro was fantastic yesterday. Lenny Yoro walked into a team, right? A new defence, 2 new defence. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, he's a kid at the end of the day, and I think he did absolutely fantastic yesterday, in my opinion. And to be honest with you, I felt like he showed himself really well, and I'm giving him a 7.5 yesterday. In regards to Lindelof, went off injured, a 3.6 for me. Didn't do anything really. Didn't really have an impact on the game. Injured straight away. What's new? Injuries for Man United is the thing, really, isn't it? More injuries in regards to that. When we move on to the left-sided wing-back, we talk about Dalot. Now, guys, what about Dalot? What are your opinions on Dalot going forward, guys, at the end of the day? I mean, Dalot, he needs improvement, doesn't he? He really does. To be honest with you guys, I don't think Dalot is that guy to play on the left wing-back. I think he is a right wing-back. I do believe that. I cannot blame him too much. The thing is, he didn't really put a foot wrong yesterday. It was just that he didn't really have an impact in the game as well. You know, it's always a low score and a low score, you know, and to be honest with you, he needs to do a lot better. And why are we saying this about Dalot? Why are we talking about Dalot like this? It's because we believe in Diego Dalot, isn't it? It's because we believe in him. We believe he's not nowhere near the capabilities that he can be, in my opinion. I believe he you know what, he's a lot better than what he's showing. In my opinion, a lot better than what he's showing. And if I was to say anything about Dalot, I say, look, you know what? We know you're a good player. You know what I mean? I hope you get back to the you know, your best form, of course, guys, because we know what he is capable of course, on his day. Of course, guys. Sorry about that. When we get to Ericsson, he gets a 4.7, very average, lethargic and slow, in my opinion. Didn't put an impact on the game. A few good passes here and there, but he cannot play in that pivot. He cannot play in that pivot. We have to stop playing Ericsson in that pivot. We've been saying it for ages about Ericsson in that pivot. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. We need to get someone a little bit more mobile in there. Look, we got players on 350 grand a week on the bench, guys. It's mad, isn't it? We got Casemiro on the bench, 350,000 a week. It's absolutely, I mean, it's madness out there, and it's criminal. Ugarte, one of the players of the game, to be honest with you, 6.3 for me, absolutely solid. Didn't put a foot wrong, just above average for me. Really good performance again from Ugarte, really coming into his own. You know, one of our better players, and to be honest with you, was working on that single pivot on his own. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I don't think he got much help from Ericsson. I don't think so. But one thing we'll say is that we're really pleased with Ugarte, and he's going to be a great player for years to come. He really is. He's coming across as captain material for me. He's captain material. It's coming across that way, of course, you know. So in regards to Mazraoui, he got 6.2 for me. One of his lowest scores, if we're being honest. Mazraoui, obviously, has been a consistently fantastic performer, never going below a 7 out of 10. But yesterday, even though he was one of our better players, I think it was an average performance from Mazraoui yesterday. If we're being honest with ourselves, I think he was a quite average in regards to that. And, you know, he can do better. But you know what? I personally feel that a lot of these players, Dalot, Mazraoui, need rest. They need rest. Bruno, I think he needs a rest. I think a lot of these players need a rest because I feel like we're playing them too much, in my opinion. I feel like we're putting a lot of pressure on them, and to be honest, and I think a lot of those players do need a little bit of rest. When we get into Bruno, I think it's a 5.5, below average performance from Bruno. Again, you know, not great. Couple of good touches here and there, but you know what, made the goal, to be honest with you. That's why he goes up to a 5.5. Other than that, you know what, it wasn't great. But you know what, it wasn't great all round, to be honest, in regards to that. But you know what, then you look at it and you think Man United didn't play great. And you know what, then you think about, hold on, we had 54% of possession. We had more strikes on goal than Tottenham. So you're looking at it and you're thinking, wow, the standards are starting to grow, ain't they? They're starting to get bigger and larger, ain't they? The standards are starting to grow. We're starting to get, you know, more expectant of this team. And that's good, because at the end of the day, we got 4s and 5s here. But you know what? We still dominated the game, so to speak. And Tottenham only won the game because of our own errors. Anthony, the audition for Anthony, in my opinion, failed. I think he didn't play well yesterday at all. Didn't really have an impact on the game. You know what? Lots of people were calling out for Anthony, and I don't think he showed himself in any type of glory. He didn't do anything particularly wrong, but he just didn't run the channels. He didn't create. He didn't do anything incredible. He didn't take on his man. And to be honest with you, when Ahmad came on, you saw night and day, didn't you? When Ahmad came on, it was night and day in regards to Anthony and Ahmad. Completely different, isn't it? And Ahmad, when he came on, he completely changed the game for us, in my opinion. Absolutely changed the game for us, in my opinion. When it gets to Rasmus held up the ball well. Look, you know what? I thought he was one of our better players last night, and I really do. I think 6 I'm going to give him because he held up the ball, he brought players into play, he kept the ball, he didn't give the ball away. So I feel like, you know what, he had a very, very good game for me in regards to the overall dynamics of the game. I thought like he did okay for Man United yesterday. I really do. And you know what, it can get better. It will get better. It looks like Ruben Amorim is working magic on, obviously, Rasmus Højlund. But you know what? I think he done okay, bringing players into play and, you know what, holding the ball up pretty well. Man United were pretty couldn't control the game. It was just our own downfall, our own mistakes that obviously affected the result of the game, of course. When we look at the substitutes, guys, Johnny Evans, he came on obviously in the 46th minute for obviously Lindelof. I would say that he got a 5.5, didn't really put a foot wrong, didn't really exert himself in the game. I felt like for one of the Solanke goals, he backed off too much, in my opinion. I think he was backing off a little bit much and could have put the tackle in my opinion. Amad Diallo, what can we say what hasn't already been said about Amad Diallo, guys? Goodness me, what can we say? He has the same he has the same middle name as me, guys. But at the same time, you know what? He's a much better footballer than me, of course, guys. But at the end of the day, what I would say is that Amad Diallo, an absolute gem. And you know what? He's only going to improve, guys. He's only going to improve. And you know what? It's good for Man United that we got a player like Amad Diallo in the mix, guys. It really is. I'm really excited to see how Ruben Amorim develops Amad Diallo. And you know what? Brothers are doing it for themselves, guys. Absolutely. That is what it's all about. Big up Amad Diallo. Changed the game when he came on. Persistent for the goal. An absolute gem. And you know what? And you know what? He's got to play in that attacking third. He's got to play in more of the attacking role, of course, in my opinion. Absolutely. Xerxes did fabulous when he came on as well. I'm going to give Xerxes props. And you know what? One of his better performances. Changed the game when he came on, as well as Ahmed did. Scored a goal, of course. Held up the ball well. Was neat and tidy. Didn't make any mistakes. Brilliant performance from Xerxes, in my opinion, when he came on. And maybe this is a turning point for Xerxes. Maybe this is the spark for Xerxes. Maybe this is the that little bit of like that change, that moment that he needed. I feel like he's got that moment now, and I feel like that last night was his moment, in my opinion. Of course, guys, in my opinion. In regards to Mainu, 6.6, controlled the match when he came on. Very, very assured, as usual, from the young lads. Mainu's been an absolute generational talent. He changed the game as well. So one thing I would say about Mainu and players and Ahmad is that Ruben Amorim's beginning to see the players he can trust. He's beginning to see those players there that are his first team players, in my opinion. I think he's beginning to see that, you know what, some of these players are not good enough. But some of these players, boy, oh boy, they can take us to the promised land, in my opinion, definitely. Garnacho didn't really do much when he came on, although he did run the channels pretty well. I thought he did pretty well when he came on. I'm giving him a 6, guys. I am giving him a 6. I thought he did okay when he came on, held up the ball well, run with the ball, created more problems for Tottenham. I felt like if we had 5-10 minutes longer, I think we would have equalised in the game. I really do think we would have ended up equalising in the game, guys, in my opinion. In regards to Ruben Amorim, I'm going to give him a 6.0 yesterday, an average scoreline. He did make changes which affected the game, but ultimately we lost the game, didn't we? So obviously he can't get higher than a 6, an average score for Ruben Amorim. But you know what? We saw signs there yesterday that, you know what, he knows what he's doing. You know what, playing the team that he played yesterday, he had to play some players. Goodness, we have a squad at the end of the day. You know, if these players are not good enough, they shouldn't be at the football club at the end of the day. And that's one thing I would say in regards to that. So he had to play his squad, of course. Man of the match for me was Lenny Yoro, guys. Lenny Yoro was the man of the match for me. A lot of people are going to be shocked about that. It could have been Ahmad, but I think it's Lenny Yoro. And the reason it's Lenny Yoro, because Lenny Yoro walked into this team, played 90 minutes, and he played the centre-back position, De Ligt. Let's not forget that we did miss De Ligt yesterday. De Ligt, we missed him heavily yesterday, in my opinion. We really did. But you know what? I thought Lenny Yoro played absolutely fantastic. And you know what? Props to Lenny Yoro. Of course, guys, absolutely great performance from the lad. And you know what? Exciting future for Lenny Yoro, of course, guys. Real exciting future. Look, guys, we can look at things, pessimistically, or we can be the ultimate pessimist, or we can be overly zealous, or we can be somewhere in between. The main thing is that what we have to show is that there are promising signs. There are promising signs going forward, and there's a lot of things to look forward to, guys. A lot of things to look forward to. I really, really am excited for the future, and you guys should be excited too, of course, guys. You guys should be excited. Let me just get your comments up, guys, real quickly. Hopefully I haven't missed too many of your comments. Let's have a look down at some of these comments, guys. Let's go. Good morning, Sanjay. Yeah, I think I read that one. Mark, I'm happy with United played all the players who were complaining over the time and also contract renewals. Now Amran knows that they would deserve it and that Binder should be helped to live. There you go, Mark. At the end of the day, we take that positive from the game, don't we? We take the positive that some of these players were on audition. They were on trial yesterday. You know, they had their chance. They found their opportunity. And at the end of the day, you know what? The best way to learn about this was in the League Cup. When else are you going to learn about these players? At the end of the day, this is the problem. Look, we can play the first team every single game. These players are going to get run off their feet. We need to change some players sometime at the end of the day, you know. And, you know, he played those players and unfortunately, a lot of them failed their audition. Sadly for me, you know, I wanted Binder to succeed. Doesn't even deserve to get matches. Sniper Man's going in. Look, at the end of the day, look, we have to understand that as human beings, we make mistakes, all right? And one thing is that we never really knew about Binder until last night. I think a lot of people woke up last night and thought, you know what, Binder is not that guy, is he? I don't think he's good enough for Man United going forward in regards to if we want to challenge for the major honours, if we want to challenge for the Champions League, etc., etc. You know, it's sad because I wanted him to succeed. I don't believe Onana is good enough either. I don't. I think he's better than Binder, obviously, but I don't think he is good enough to take Man United to the promised land, to take Man United to where they need to be, which is a title challenge. And Man United need to be challenging for the title. Man United need to be challenging for Champions League, etc., like that. And that's what I would say about it. Zizou, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hi, good morning, bro. Amran need 8 matches cost Manchester United. 8 minutes cost Man United. Amran said 8 minutes cost Man United. He did. He's absolutely spot on, Zizou. It takes moments in games to change games, you know, and moments to make games good, moments to make games bad. Yesterday, we shot ourselves in the foot, so to speak, you know, and basically, when we got back into the game, we would let them back into the game. It's old habits, isn't it? Old habits die hard, don't they, at the end of the day? And it reminded me a little bit of when we played Galatasaray a few years ago in the Champions League, a couple of years ago in the Champions League, when we would get the front hold in the game, but then make a mistake and let them back into the game. And, you know what, we had this kind of mentality yesterday that, you know what, wasn't, you know, we need to eradicate from our game. We need to get rid of that from our game. And we need to hope that in the future, we don't make such silly errors. The most worrying thing is it's not just buying there. It's not just buying there. We have to look at the experienced players, the Licha Martinez, the Brunos of this world who gave away goals as well. They gave away goals as well. Bruno gave away a bad pass, which led to the first goal, didn't it, at the end of the day? So, you know what, we can't just throw the blame on one player. At the end of the day, it is a team effort. As Ruben Amram said, it is a team effort. And we do have to obviously look at it as a collective and say, look, at the end of the day, we made mistakes as a team and these mistakes can't happen anymore. Of course, guys, of course. Sniper Man, that's why he has no experience saving those shots. At the end of the day, there's elite goalkeepers and there's not elite goalkeepers, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's like strikers, isn't it? You're going to have goalkeepers who make mistakes. You're going to have goalkeepers who are reassured. But this is exactly what I'm saying. At the same time, you need to look at it like this. Like, Binder hasn't played any football for how long? How long hasn't he played football? This is why he needed game time. This is why you need a goalkeeper here and there that, you know what, can get those mistakes out of his game. Because when you're not playing consistently, when you're playing once every year, you're going to make mistakes because you're not match fit. And that is how I would say it. At the end of the day, at least Ruben Amram gave him some game time. So if anything happens to Onana, Binder will learn from those mistakes, and we hope that he will learn from mistakes, and hopefully he moves on. We're not just going to throw the book at him because there was a number of players in that team who were so-called experienced players in that team who made mistakes yesterday. And you know what? We cannot just blame one player. It is a team effort, guys. It's a team collective. It's an effort. It's a connective effort from all the players, not just one player. Obviously, even though it did change the game. Binder is good too. Just it has to in between. Absolutely, Idioma, you speak a lot of sense, my friend. That is a very, very good comment. When you're not between the sticks, it's just like when you're a striker, midfielder, defender, left back, right back. You know what I mean? Whatever you are, if you're not playing enough games, you know what? You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be rusty. That's how you say it. You're going to be rusty. You're going to let things slip under your paws. Not only that, there's a lot of pressure on goalkeepers. A lot of pressure on goalkeepers. You know, when you haven't played for a long time, there's all eyes on you at the end of the day. Because ultimately, when a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it ends in a goal, doesn't it? So the pressure is huge. He wanted to show himself. It was a foul for, I think it was the third goal, wasn't it, or fourth goal. It was a foul. It did hold his arm, you know, and to be honest with you, it was just scandalous that the referee didn't give it. But at the end of the day, that's what happens, you know. Double-edged sword, isn't it, with VAR? If VAR ain't there, things like that happen. And you know what? If the referees, we know that referees don't like Man United. We know that they're not, you know, big fans of us, you know, at the end of the day. So, you know, we knew that he was never going to give the foul at the end of the day, in my opinion. Never going to give the foul, of course. Chichi, why always mistakes every match? Martinez should be more solid now, not to start causing the catastrophe. I don't know what's wrong with Martinez, to be honest with you, Chichi. Thank you for mentioning that, of course. I don't know what the problem is with Martinez. I mean, Martinez, when he first broke into the scene, when he signed for Manchester United, he was our best defender. In fact, he was one of the best defenders in Europe. Since his injury, I think he's been a little bit rusty. I think he's been prone to mistakes. He's making mistakes. But let's look, we can look at it like in a calm way, because he did have a fantastic game against Man City at the weekend, didn't he? He did create Ahmad's goal. He did assist Ahmad's goal, of course, guys. So at the end of the day, look, we can throw the book at him, but you know what? Let's support the lad. Let's hopefully he does, you know what, keep supporting him, because we know what he's capable of. We know he's a good goalkeeper. Good defender, sorry, and we hope that he improves, because we know what he's capable of. We saw it at the weekend against Man City, didn't we? We saw what happened against Man City. We saw the pass against Ahmad. Fantastic 40-yard pass, which obviously won us the game, of course, guys, in the end, of course. Ijeoma, I just want us to bounce back against Bournemouth. Yeah, exactly. That is what's most important, Ijeoma. The most important game now is Bournemouth. Bournemouth is the next one on the list. And you know what? We lost this game. It's over. It's the past. We move on. We need to move on to Bournemouth, and that we need to move up that league. Maybe get in the top half of the page of the Premier League table, of course, guys. We're in the second half of the Premier League table at the moment, so we need to get back in that top half of the Premier League table and start moving up that table. Bournemouth are going to be a difficult game. Bournemouth are beating the likes of Newcastle and Arsenal this year, albeit they were at the Vitality Stadium, their own stadium, of course. But you know what? We need to make Old Trafford a fortress again. This is one thing that I've been touching on a lot. Bournemouth need to come to Old Trafford and be scared. That's what we need it to happen, of course. Big up, Al Mac. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good. I had a tip from a Turkish fan saying they told me weeks ago that Bayern's a disastrous keeper. Turns out, Al Mac, it's been well known that Turkish fans have been saying that for a long time. Al Mac, thank you for your comment. Turkish fans were surprised that Man United signed Bayern, and they said it a year ago, almost, you know. And to be honest with you, at the end of the day, I don't know who scouted him. I don't know who signed him. Was it Ten Hag? Was it the board? Did we just need a goalkeeper as a stopgap? At the end of the day, if a goalkeeper's not good enough, just bring in a youth player. You know, this is what I don't understand, you know. But what I feel for Bayern there a little bit, of course, he hasn't had enough football. He hasn't had enough training. You know, match fitness and stuff like that does play a part. It is very important, match fitness and stuff like that. Obviously, going forward, we need to obviously understand that in regards to top-level athletes need game time, and they need their fair crack at the whip as well. Big up, Al Mac. Mark, Spurs were so poor last night. The only reason they won the game was because Bayern there was high in Christmas spirit. Mark, you know what? We're not just going to bang the drum about Bayern there. Martinez made a crucial error for one of the goals. Bruno gave a ball away for the first goal at the end of the day, which obviously led to the first goal. So at the end of the day, it is a collective. You know what? Bayern there probably won't play for Man United again. We know that, don't we? But one thing we're not going to do is not going to lay on him. We're not going to destroy the lad confidence. Of course, guys, I wish him all the best. I think Man United do need better goalkeepers in there, including Onana. I think Man United do need that. We make far too many mistakes when the goalkeeper's involved. If we're being honest, look, if you think about how many goals we conceded this season, how many were due to mistakes? Guys, let's think about it when you think about that. And they weren't Bayern. It was Onana as well. Onana basically lost us the game against Nottingham Forest, didn't he? At the end of the day. You know, and Nana plays every game as well. So at the end of the day, look, you know what? He had a bad game and he probably won't play for Man United anymore. But one thing we do is wish him the best of luck. And you know what? Hopefully, he finds a good club and he plays first in football. Of course, Man United is a heavy shirt as well, guys. We've got to understand that Man United is a different. Man United not Galatasaray. Man United not Fenerbahce. Man United are a completely different football club, of course, guys. Absolutely. And Foster was he was giving gifts too. No one talks about Foster because they won the game. At the end of the day, Foster made far more crucial errors than Bayern. I mean, they wanted us to win the game almost, didn't they? Absolutely. United should be looking at a number one goalkeeper that can set pieces, and Onana can't. Absolutely. I agree, Mark. Absolutely. Man United do need to be looking at other goalkeepers. I would bring Kovar back. I do like Donnarumma, of course, of PSG. I like that player. But the Brand goalkeeper is also a good shout. He's a decent goalkeeper as well. There's a number of goalkeepers out there. I wouldn't even say that Martinez of Aston Villa is not bad. I think he's not bad, of course, guys. I think he's a decent goalkeeper. There are goalkeepers out there, but Man United need to get a goalkeeper, in my opinion, that's authoritative, that controls the area, can come out, grab the ball, don't just stand on his line, looking like a nervous wreck. Do you know what I mean? We need something a bit more confidence. Because even when Onana plays, let's be honest, guys, he fills us with anxiety, doesn't he? He fills us with nerves. At the end of the day, he doesn't fill us with positivity, does he? At the end of the day, guys, at the end of the day. Sniper Man. No, you can't judge him. You can't judge him, Sniper Man. You can't. At the end of the day, you need to give a player 4 or 5 matches in a row before you can start saying, maybe this guy isn't the one. But then again, the problem with goalkeepers, and we saw it with obviously Massimo Taibi all those years ago. We signed Massimo Taibi from Italy, from Venezia, and then he ended up putting the ball going through his legs in his opening game. And that's what we have to understand. Man United is a different animal when it comes to pressure. When you're playing for Man United, and you know what, you're standing on the shoulders of giants. You're standing on the shoulders of giants. And when you make mistakes, they get highlighted, and that's the thing. And it's very hard to recapture your form when that happens. It wasn't just buying there. The players, the experienced players in that side had a part to play in the loss yesterday as well. This is one thing we have to understand. We can't just throw the book at Bayindir and say, you Bayindir, you done it. You're the reason. You're the sole reason, and that's it. Absolutely not. Is a keeper? Maybe he should be on the number 2. Not for me, Almac. I mean, I watched him in pre-season, made a couple of crucial errors against Liverpool. Did you see it? It was. He's not all that. He's just as bad, mate. He's just as bad. I'm not a fan of. And I think he's stoppy. I don't think he's the goalkeeper that we need. Can't pass that from the back. A little bit, We need another goalkeeper, guys. We really do need another goalkeeper, definitely. There is that Vita George. I think there are people talking about him from Botafogo in Brazil. He's one of those goalkeepers that we've been looking at quite intensively as well. Hello, Pearl. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you back on the stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're all good. Guys, thank you very much for joining me today, of course. Thank you very much on this match reaction, of course, guys. The morning after, of course, the game finished 2:30 in the morning for me last night. So I was incredibly tired. I woke up early in the morning as well, so you know how it is. I don't get why Leach became Total Maleba lately. He was giving the ball away in the box and the form assist to Spurs. This is exactly what it is, Mark, isn't it? It's match fitness. It's injuries take their toll. I mean, since the injury, he hasn't been the same player as he was, and we all know how good Nietzsche Martinez is. We all know that he's a fantastic player. Unfortunately, you know what? Lately, he's been making a lot of mistakes and he's not been the same. But then we look at the game against Man City and we look at it and we think, well, he was brilliant against Man City, wasn't he? He was fantastic against Man City. So what happened to him? What happened? What's going on? Why is he inconsistent now? I mean, obviously that will change. Hopefully that change. Fingers crossed. We need Licha Martinez. We know Licha Martinez is a good player. We just need to stick by him and hopefully he will get better going forward, of course. But he cannot keep making those kind of mistakes that cost us the game yesterday. That goal, Kulusevski goal, that goal was unbelievable. Hit it with his wrong foot, the side of his foot, straight to Kulusevski, and that basically finished us, didn't it? I mean, one thing I got a positive about yesterday is that we didn't give up. We didn't give up, and you know what? We played. We almost got back in the game. We almost equalised. Of course, if it wasn't for VAR, if we did have VAR, we probably would have drawn the game. You never know. We might be through to the semi-final right now. But as I said earlier in the show, at the beginning of the show, are you happy that Man United? I mean, not happy. Man United would have had to play a 2-legged tie against Liverpool in January. We've already got Liverpool away in January, guys. We've already got Arsenal away in January, guys. Do you want to play a 2-legged tie against Liverpool? Is it, at the end of the day, do you want that? We got the Europa League sandwiched in between as well. Let's not forget that. And we got obviously the Premier League, of course. So did you really want to play a 2-legged tie against Liverpool? I mean, goodness me. I don't think we would have been ready for that, in my opinion, guys. I don't know how you feel. Martinez's reputation is built on his first season performances. He had one great season, but has not been. It's been inconsistent. Inconsistency is the thing. Keyword, Almac. I agree. And to be honest with you, he has to improve. We know that. We know what he's capable of. He is living off his first season. He did get a lot of injuries, though. We have to give him his, obviously, his dues and that. He did get a lot of injuries. He has been injury prone. I do believe Man United need to invest in that area. And obviously, Man United did want Jared Branthwaite, of course. We've been trying to get Jared Branthwaite for a while. So that's why Man United wanted Jared Branthwaite, because obviously Martinez and his injury records cannot be trusted. Luke Shaw would have been great to play in that left-sided centre-back position. He's good in that position. Unfortunately, Luke Shaw is what it is at the end of the day. At least Martinez is there. At least Martinez is available. And as we say, the best form of ability is availability, of course, and that is what I would say in regards to that. Absolutely. Mark, Binder effed up the corner and looking for it because he went for the way and late and tried to get the go. He missed it and the guy had a stinker. I mean, it was a foul. It was a foul. Let's be fair. It was a foul. I'm not saying the ball wouldn't have gone in the net. It was bad goalkeeping. It was, but at the same time, it was a foul. It was a foul. He held his arm down. It is a foul. And when your momentum as a goalkeeper, when you're jumping up and a player holds your arm down, it's only going to contribute to you, looking even more like an idiot. Like, at the end of the day, to be honest with you, it should have been a foul. If it was VAR, it would have been a foul. But there's no VAR yesterday, of course, as we know, which is weird. Of course. Man United is getting better though. Fernandes wasn't good enough. Fernandes hasn't been good for a long time. Let's be honest, guys. I've been pointing the finger at Fernandes, and this is what we need to do. We need to look at those players, the more experienced players there, what are playing week in, week out, and you know what? Fernandes is consistently pulling up 5 and 6s out of 10s. He's rarely getting 7 and 8s out of 10. And that's what we have to look at the end of the day, guys. That's what we have to look at. Mark, well, good thing is that the Carabao Cup is over now. 10 days until January. We will not be seeing most of them in United shirt much on last night. So, yes, Mark, a lot of those players have had their last game for Man United. Rest assured. Maybe not all of them, but I think Binder, you'll be lucky to see Binder in a Man United shirt this season. Unless we play a Shrewsbury or a Plymouth in the FA Cup, if we get through against Arsenal, of course, let's not forget we got Arsenal away in the FA Cup. So at the end of the day, that's going to be difficult, isn't it? So unless we play a lower team in the FA Cup, maybe he might get a chance. Maybe he might get a chance to redeem himself, but it doesn't look good, bruv. It doesn't look good, of course. Mason Mount has injured, a disastrous signing. Absolutely, mate. He cost £55,250,000 a week. He is consistently injured. He barely played and is out for another 2 months. How can this always be injured? Mate, I said it before we signed him. I did say that Mason Mount had a pelvis injury. He had a pelvis operation, of course, and the medication that you take for a pelvis injury is it has a rebound effect on injuries. So basically, the pelvis injury is a career ender. But now we got the technology to fix pelvis injuries. So when we fix the pelvis, the actual medication and the treatment actually has rebound effects on the player. So when you go out, you're going to get other little niggles like your leg or your back and stuff like that, because obviously the pelvis is such a big part of the body. Before we signed Mason Mount, I did say this. I said it. He's not fit. He's not, he had one good season for Chelsea. We shouldn't have signed him. We should have waited, and signed someone else, 50 million, given the number 7 shirt, the great number 7 shirt that Beckham and Cantona, all those players wore, of course, guys. So then they put extra pressure on him. It's just a disastrous signing, to be honest. And hopefully those days are gone. Hopefully those days are gone. Absolutely. I hope so. I really do. Big up. Linda South 0.0. Big up, Rasta. That's cruel. That's cruel. Mark, it was my decision. I would be playing Euro from the start every match when we're here on. Guys, let's not forget that we missed De Ligt yesterday. De Ligt is going under the radar. Guys. We're not praising De Ligt enough for his performances this season. In my opinion, that's it. And guys, fit, ready and hungry. Yeah, I'll play De Ligt and Licha. No, De Ligt and Euro every game, sorry. De Ligt and Euro every game. You know what? I might even say we might have to play Maguire. Yeah, guys, you know what I mean? We might have to play Maguire, in my opinion. Of course, Story, how you doing, my friend? Very results, but Mass is too high. I thought it's 6. I thought it's all right. It's your opinion. This is to do with my Instagram, Facebook rating. So basically, people you can rate on there, my player ratings. It came up as 6. That's what it came up. It's not my personal. He had one of his worst games. I do agree. Big up, Ashik. How you doing? Salam alaikum, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Martinez will only play great if we have a proper left back who track back and give support. Dalot can sub in after 80 minutes. I agree, mate. Guys, I'm not looking at this. This is an absolutely spot-on point from Ashik. The left-sided centre-back has a huge role to play in the left wing-back. And the wing back has a huge role to play in the left-sided centre-back. They're not complementing each other. Dalot's not a good left wing-back, in my opinion. Absolutely not. And I agree with that, Ashik. That is a very, very good comment, my friend. Very, very good point. Evans' tunnel goal, you could see the embarrassment at the way to the North Pole. Evans' tunnel goal, absolutely, mate. At the end of the day, you know what? Big up, Joel. How you doing? Long time no see, Joel. I mean, hope you're doing well. It's good to see you, mate. Really, really good to see you. But defensively, we were all over the place yesterday. From the goalkeeper, from the centre backs, everyone had a stinker. Apart from Lenny Euro, I thought Lenny Euro covered himself in some glory, and I'm really excited to see more Lenny Euro in that team. Dare we say it? Dare we say it? Are we going to end up playing Harry Maguire? What's going on, guys? You know, he did play well against Man City. We have to give it, at the end of the day, he did. Goals for yesterday, but no control defensively. Absolutely. We could have won that game, GK. We did it to ourselves, of course. We really did, guys. We really did do it to ourselves. Jane, game stats said Spurs should have scored 0.6 and United should have scored 2.3 goals. We dominated them and lost. It's football, Joe. It's football. At the end of the day, look, if you make mistakes, you're prone to lose games. At the end of the day, that's football. And you're the master of your own destiny. At the end of the day, we had a lot of positives in yesterday's game. A lot of good things came out of yesterday's game. And the most important thing that came out of yesterday's game is that Ruben Amorim will probably know his best team now. You know what I mean? He probably will know who his best team is. Because I feel if our best team played yesterday, we will be in the League Cup semi-finals. Absolutely, absolutely. Guys, I want to thank every single one who's joined me today, of course. Good morning, Grayo. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're good. But entirely unexpected result last night. I'm sure Amron will get in his list of players he wants at the club, but must be a big list. Mate, I've heard it's hundreds of players on that list, mate. At the end of the day, I've heard. Big up, Grayo. Good to see you, mate. Anthony had Euro mistake set up the second goal where Martinez was unable to get away. I did not watch the first half. So, yeah, Anthony didn't have cover himself in glory, though. Anthony is a more experienced player. Euro's just come into the team, really, hasn't he, at the end of the day, so we can't blame him too much playing with a unfamiliar centre-back partnership, of course, guys. Grayo, I wish we could get Kova back. Just a quick visit, Sal. I was off to work. Have a great day at work, Grayo. Thank you so much for joining me today. Of course, Verbruggen's a great goalkeeper. GK is another one on the list, of course. My friend, another one on the list, of course. Rumours going around is that we are trying to get a keeper from Napoli for free. Probably as a backup goalkeeper. Probably. I wouldn't mind that. And we do need no one. Victor from Botafogo in for Bayern there should do. I mean, I spoke about him few days ago. Of course, Man United are in for him. He is 28 years old. Good goalkeeper. Is he good enough for the first team? He'd be good as a second goalkeeper. We need someone who's reliable, of course, guys. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a fabulous show. Sorry about the surroundings. Slight difference of surroundings as well, guys. Ben's a goalkeeper, and we did some good things like keeping the player. Absolutely, absolutely. I like the mixture of comments, guys. Thank you everyone who joined me today. You absolute diamonds. I'll be back tonight. Sorry, for Chatterbox. 2 p.m. UK time. We'll be back for Chatterbox, guys. Thank you everyone who's joined me today. Don't forget to smash a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. You absolute diamonds. Thank you so much for joining me. And you know what? It is what it is today. We're here doing the streams every single day, wherever we are in the world. We're here doing the streams. Keep the belief, guys. Don't be too downhearted in regards to everything. You know what? Sunday is the big game, of course. Sunday is the big game, and what we need to do now is concentrate on that, and we move on forward, and we move forward swiftly, of course, guys. And you know what? Not only that, we move up that Premier League table. Have a great one, guys. I'm Sal Walnut. This is Breaking Dawn. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take it easy, guys. Peace.